already done one of the intro and a trial. So he's going to give you a check after this. But his name is Dubois. Dubois. Dubois is a French name. Maybe you have to ask him because his handwriting is hard to read. Later, or you can ask him. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I didn't even notice you were talking to Bob. Sorry,
No, that's
Bob.
okay. Bob's old news. We'll catch up.
Bob, Oh, Ed.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So, can you do a test tomorrow?
No.
Actually, put these on. Mine is going to take a picture of you. I'm going to start class.
Okay.
So just look straight ahead. Mine, he's going to do it. All right. So I'll see you later. Okay, we'll line up. Good morning. Good morning. Maria, what you got there?
One of your things.
Oh, okay. I can look at it. I know it's right. What I see it. As soon as I see it, I know. That's the right one. Yeah. Okay. I'll put it in
The
here.
other one's backward.
Okay. No worry. I got two extras, anyways. All right, we're gonna line up. Ooh. Okay, we'll bow in and get started. Oh, excuse me, 1 second. Ed, keep those separate so I'll know which ones they are. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, ready? Bow. Salute. So, the mask optional. If you want to wear it, is fine. If you've been vaccinated twice, hopefully, yeah, hopefully. So, anyways, hands up, turning. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. To the side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Okay. Hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right. To your left. Center. Inhale. Exhale. Hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right. Left. Center. Inhale. Exhale. Hands up. Reach down. Turn to your right. Left. Center. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, hands in your waist. Circular movements. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Send across. Forearms, hold your kneecaps, circular movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Center. Switch hands, other direction. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Center. Hands on your waist. Neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Tilt to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Center. Circular movements. 1, 2, 3. Reverse. 1, 2, 3. Okay, center. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, spread your feet. Turn your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, and stop. Okay, turn, stretch it out. Switch. Okay, switch. 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 Straighten the front knee. Switch. 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 Center. Okay, shake it out. Okay, deep breathing. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. Tongue touches the roof of the mouth. Okay, shoulder roll, circular movements. Reverse. Okay, Sana. Press, release, exhale. exhale, inhale. And stop. Hands up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, wrists. Reverse. Okay, palms down. Bigger circle. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Okay, shake it out. Going side to side. And lift. And center. Okay, right foot forward, insert the needle. Switch. shake it out. Going to do the leg swing with the right side. Okay, switch, other side. And side. Okay, let's go side to side. And switch. And center. Okay, shake it out. Hands up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, still grilling. Forward and back. Okay, turn, switch. And center. Okay, cross. Right foot forward. Open and close. Switch. And center. Okay, feet parallel, shoulder width. Preparation. And center. Okay, lower hoop. Shoulder height. Elbows down. Lower palms down. Lift the back, straighten the spine. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. Diagonal flying. Switch. Okay, Sana. Cloud hands, shoulder width, stance. Okay, palms down. Lift up. Carry tiger to the mountain. Okay, center. Infinity sign. Okay, form the fists. center. Strum the lute. Okay, center, turn, draw the bow. Okay, fan through the back. Okay, center, raise the hand. Okay, palms down, deep breathing, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, we'll go through the short form, and maybe if people want to transition outside to the other room. Chris, you can go work with Minor and anybody else. Monte. All right, rest of us go through the form. Feet parallel, shoulder width begin, preparation. Press forward, sit back, turn the corner, shift your weight and step up, grasp the sparrow's tail. Hook your wrists, single whip. Hold the ball. Diagonal flying. Step up. Press forward. Raise the hand. Bend from the waist. Stork flaps wings. Turn, toe heel pivot. Brush knee 4 times. Going to your left, third brush knee and push. Fourth brush knee and push. Twist step, step up, and push right. Sit back, strum the lute. Close the door. Form the fist. And punch. Divert, block, punch, cross the arms, leopard and tiger springs to mountain. Neutral position left, turn, lower the arms, fist under elbow. Retreat and repulse the monkey, twist in the backside, your rear foot twists and straightens. As you turn to the right, the left foot straightens, reverse pass through center. And one more time, third, retreat, repulse the monkey. Neutral right side. Hold the ball, step up, diagonal flying. Shift back, insert the needle. Step forward, fan through the back. Turn, stroke down, parry and punch. Step forward, form the fist. Punch. Divert, block and punch. Leopard and tiger springs to mountain. Palms down. Shift your weight, pivot. Go to the rear corner. Square the feet, align the feet. Left hand on the outside. Raise the left hand. Bend from the waist. Counterclockwise rotation. Toe heel pivot to your left. Left side grasp the sparrow's tail. Left side single whip. Open the stance. Single whip. Hold the ball. Reverse the ball. Diagonal flying. Sit back. Left side stroke down. Part the horse's mane. Sit back, twist step, step up, stroke down, hold the ball, part the horse's mane, right side, sit back, cross step to the left, horizontal elbow, vertical elbow, lift, jade lady work shuttle left. Cross over to the right side, right foot forward, horizontal elbow, vertical elbow, and lift, Right side, Jade Lady work shadow. Sink your elbow, hook your wrists and turn. Relax the hips, relax the shoulders, turn. Cloud hands. Back to single whip, hook your wrists. Hold the ball. Reverse. Diagonal flying. Right side. Close the form. Okay, deep breathing. Okay, so let's try that a second time, and without the prompts, we'll just run through it, put it into more of that subconscious mode, and we'll just run through it. Okay, ready? If you're not comfortable with the sequence, you can maybe go into the middle, but if everyone's good, we'll just go through it. Ready? Preparation. breathing. So form is really a vehicle that houses these postures, but it's used for, memorizing and, maintaining and retaining all of these postures. But at the same time, when you get through the form and it gets into a certain level of subconscious, it becomes a meditative exercise, so there's a benefit to that. It just shows you that when you build, muscle memory and sequential memory in your system, which is your mind and your body, eventually it just comes together and it becomes, innate. It just becomes part of you. So when we go through the form, you use the form in different sort of modes. So you can do it very slow. You can do it, use it as a training for the geometry of position. You can blend these movements. You can try to get it into this stage of called gonchon. There's continuity. It's like it flows without any breaks. Although they're separate postures, you have to integrate the postures by that little bit of transition. And what that is getting your hands and your feet, your upper and your lower body to work together, synchronizing it so that your transitions become almost seamless. It helps to build that understanding. If you're using it, on a functional side, then it really helps you, learn to move from position to position. So because Tai Chi is this basis of yin and yang, you have movement and you have stillness. So the stillness side of it is sustaining a position and then not dropping the consciousness of a position or a position or a position, and then you build from that passive to active motion, and it just keeps cycling through. So that's something that has to happen over time, and you can't, you can think it through, but actually you should experience it by doing it, because, specificity training is do it in a certain, goal, with a certain goal and objective, and then you just try to develop that sensitivity, feeling, and, fine-tuning a lot of that. So let's go through this the third time and try to make it as seamless as possible. And you really have to draw off of clear-mindedness, just let it go. So we'll do that, then we'll do the long form. Okay. Okay, deep breathing. So we should bring in the idea of timing, right? Timing and movement. So when we do the form and we see Tai Chi is done being, slow motion, it's not so much that it's slow motion, it's just that when you're building integration of body and building the pieces that we use in the postures, it appears to be, a lot of pieces that are actually connected. So if you're making complete transitions, it'll automatically get slower. It's not because you're moving at a snail's pace, because that's pretty isolated if you just think on that level. But if you're moving and you integrate, you're shifting your weight and your stances are transitioning, you're pivoting, you're turning, you're twisting, bringing in the dimension and the volume of movement, then it will take longer to do. So the long form could take anywhere from 15 to 17 minutes to do. The short form would take you about 5 minutes max, and it could be between 3.5 to 5, depending on the type of execution. So if you're smoothing it out, it's going to appear to be faster, only because when you integrate the hands and the legs, now what would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ends up 1, 2, 3. You're blending the movements, and the more you blend, the faster it'll appear to be. So if you're going to go through movements where it's just building towards, say, reflex action, then you have to go through this phase of continuity. Otherwise, the movements are always going to be somewhat broken. So something like brush knee, and you go to strum the lute, when you're here, it just goes right into it. Otherwise, how can you define those movements and still be moving? So that's what happens when you do the continuous form. Continuity builds integration of body, and that actually over time will be speed. So extreme slowness becomes extreme fastness. It becomes quicker. So that's how the concept kind of works. So if you look on a theoretical basis, there's some method to the madness. So you have to understand this concept as an approach, and then it's not just those postures and movements that you struggle with in memorizing in the beginning. You use that as a training tool, and then you can evolve with it forever, as long as you practice. So learning is, there's a level of consciousness and thinking through it. Training is taking what you've learned and embodying it and making it part of you. So that will happen over time. All right, let's go through the long form. Not rushing through. We'll go through just like we do it the first round, say the first stage, right? So we go through preparation, left and right sides, sit back and turn the corner, shift, grasp the sparrow's tail, single whip, hold the ball, step up and raise the hand, turn, stork flaps wings, toe heel pivot, brush knee and push. We have 4 of these. Continue. Strum the lute. Form the fist. Punch, divert, block, and punch. Leopard and tiger springs the mountain. Carry tiger to the mountain. Oblique brush knee, left, right push, oblique brush knee, 180-degree turn. So these are all your oblique movements, meaning they go to the corners. Oblique single whip, the fist under elbow. Brush knee and push, insert needle. Fan through the back. Stroke down. Parry and punch. Retreat. Form the fists. Step up. Grasp the sparrow's tail. Hook your wrist, single whip. Hold the ball and cloud hands. Hook your wrists, back to single whip. Kicks. First instep kick. Second instep kick. Turn. Heel kick, left. Brush knee, right and left sides. Planting punch. Parry and punch. 180-degree turn. Step up. Fourth movement to beat the tiger. Sink the elbow, relax the shoulder, turn to the rear, beat the tiger, turn back, lower hoop, cross the arms, right heel kick, 2 punches to the ear. Left on top, flip the hands, potting leg. Cross step, turn, 360-degree pedal step, fold the elbows, potting leg, stroke down, parry and punch, and resume, repeat, and punch. posture. Golden cockerel. Step up. Grasp the sparrow's tail. Third set of cloud hands. Palm strikes face, single lotus kick. Okay. Brush knee, push left side. Punch down the crotch, step up, and step up again, grasp the sparrow's tail. Final downward posture, just second one. Step up to 7-star. Retreat and ride the tiger. Palm strikes face. Turn. Double lotus. Draw bow to shoot tiger. Second palm strikes face. Parry and punch. Step up. Switch to hands. High pat the horse. Step up. Grasp the sparrow's tail. Okay, deep breathing. Inhale. So if you're using this vehicle as a meditative exercise, you need the 15 to 17 minutes to get your mind and body into that mode. Because if you just, a lot of people that do Tai Chi just do the form. They don't do all the drills that we do. So all the drills actually are training. You're getting a dose of, different motions to teach your body what parts have to move. So that's really a control factor. As you progress, you develop more and more control, and as you control your body, you start to integrate, and all of that. There's a benefit to that. So, for us that are using this as a prevention of age-related degeneration, for whether it's balance, coordination, and so forth, it's no wonder younger people aren't interested in this. They're not interested in it because they haven't lost, those functions, or they can't relate to it. So when you study something like Tai Chi that can get, deeper and deeper as you evolve through your understanding, most younger people only want to do the physical side. So on Tai Chi, is it physical? Absolutely it's physical, because when you're first learning it, the first stage is all physical, right? And then as you evolve, it becomes more and more intrinsic and more, driven from the mind as that intent. Because most of us, when you're learning something in regard to movement, it's just mimicking and doing it. There's no real understanding built into it. So that's how most kids and younger people, regard movement. They just do it, and that's it. When they're done, they're done. Then they go on to do something else. But with people that are using this as a training or something that interests them, then it becomes something a little bit deeper, and people will evolve, differently. So all these metaphors that we add to it to try to get you to understand, how it all works. These, if your life is not as complete as an elderly person, then you can't relate to any of that stuff. Movements like water, and if you were teaching a child that, they can't really understand how that relates to movement. So so that's why a lot of times the kung fu is actually better for the younger people, and as people evolve to a certain level of proficiency, and if they stay with it, they generally will move and gravitate toward Tai Chi. Now, Tai Chi today has the competition forms. That's more interesting to younger people because it's much more physical. So really it depends on the demographics. But if you've been doing this for a while, there's a lot, depth to that knowledge, and if you understand it and practice it that way, you're going to get a tremendous benefit out of that. So even when I first started teaching, people would ask questions, how does this help your immune system, and how does this, a lot of those things, when I was first learning Tai Chi, I didn't understand how all that stuff worked. But then as you age and you start to recognize all the things that happen and all the science and everything that's talked about, then you start to begin to understand why circulation is so important, why moving your body is so important. When we go into postures, the name of a posture is really the end of each movement. So like grassless sparrow's tail is a series of 4 movements that's covering sort of what they call the 4 energies: ward off, roll back, press, and push. So in fact, those energies are throughout throughout the form, but every posture has those concepts in it. And what are those? They're sort of the methods that you're using. A pung energy is really the round, and usually the movement is a rising or lifting movement, right? A press, sometimes you hear me say press, that means the hands join and they make contact, and it changes the structure and integrity of the position. And then roll back is really sitting back and channeling force in a direction, and it's usually toward you and down. And then push, that's the idea of using your palms. So pushing is in a forward direction generally, or it could be down and it could be up. So using your palm in direction is what a push is. Now when you combine those things in postures, then you have different surfaces that you're dealing with. So now you become more sensitive and aware that there's a structure in each position. So those structures are really the control factor of how much tension you need to create that structure, and how do you get in and out of those positions has to do with relaxing and contracting of muscles. So the control factor comes into the speed and to what degree those movements are generated, right? So we can go like this as one dimension, right? It just goes forward and back and it's round. Well, when you go like this and then you go like this, there's a downside to it. Your forearm twists a little bit, and then there's an upside to this, and it rotates and you turn your forearm. There's a manipulation of that skeletal structure that involves more than just folding, right? So all of this comes into play on a refinement level, and if we're talking about only not an application or using, the structure, circulation, if you're not moving your joints in this specific way, then those muscles are not being used for that action, right? If you're going to turn your hand like this, there's an action there. So the forearm is involved. If you're twisting your hips and you're folding and unfolding your thigh to turn it in and turn it out or move your foot this way or that way, that's an action that maybe most people don't use. So that means those muscles become somewhat dysfunctional. Dysfunctional in the sense that they're not being used voluntarily as a motor skill. Doesn't mean that that they'll stop turning. They might turn just a function of something happening, but it's not really programmed into your mind and body, so that you can't. That's the control factor. We can't control that movement the same way. So we're sitting in a stance, and we could turn. There's a action in the lower part of your body that allows your body to stay balanced and manipulated into a position. So when you're sitting like this, if you look at the tailbone, you can't see it, but that's right here. You turn and you turn. What you're doing is turning your spine so that it sits above the heel of the supporting leg. That's your center point. That's your, they call it the tailbone is in your center line. Miloi Zhongjing. Zhongjing is vertical line. So when you sit and you turn to create that position, if your musculature is not involved with that, then you won't, find your center. So the whole premise of Tai Chi, right, is to find your center. Forward, backward, right, left, center. Right, those are the directions of your movement. A lot of this, people just take for granted. Well, you go through the form and you see that there's but when you go through your form and you make a discovery, what happens when you make a discovery? You feel that it's different from the way it should be. Then you say, well, maybe I made a breakthrough. And then how can you know, or how can you figure out that it's correct? You really can't unless it's supported by a principle or something that now you hear in class, and you say, okay, the spine should be vertical, the spine is here, okay, and you turn and you open and it's there. So most people don't understand this position because they don't pay attention to it. And the other thing is you can't see yourself from behind, so how do you know your tailbone is over that foot? It becomes a feeling, right? So all of this stuff becomes a heightened awareness, but then that becomes body intelligence. So in Tai Chi they call it, Ongging, or, understanding strength. So when we're in a position and we shift our weight, when we're first doing exercise, you might shift like this, but the body's not relaxed, right? You might shift like this, the hip protrudes, that will get your spine in line. But if you shift like this and then your body's a little bit tense, your body will be misaligned. So those are the things that we have to kind of understand through, feeling. So the end movement of any posture is the name, but what we're trying to do is when we get to a position, we have to develop that muscle memory. That muscle memory is the geometry of position, and as your position starts to be, more consistent, that's what muscle memory is for. So while we're thinking of muscle memory as a type of memory that everyone talks about in any kind of physical exercise, it's really joint angle position, right? What are we doing with our skeletal structures? Putting them into these positions that has an advantage or a position of naturalness, the way your joint's designed to move. And inside these positions, what I call it the structural integrity, it has a natural strength. It has a so that's something that we have to understand. Okay, ready? We're gonna bow. I think they're invading our space over here. All right, ready? I think our gong lost its energy. It's kind of dull, huh? Let me check that again. Yeah, I think our battery's getting low.